Salamu alaykum. Welcome into my medicine bag, baby. Come on, let's unpack. My name is Nasra, pronouns they, them, no matter how pretty I look. And I'm here to deliver a message for the collective. I had some technical difficulties that I think I know were interferences, but we gonna get this message out anyways. Hiya. My charger literally broke right before I started recording. I actually started praying off camera, and then it stopped charging my phone, I noticed, and then when I went to jiggle it around, the actual charger piece separated from the piece that was in the box. The cord separated from it, just came out. I was like, okay. And then I asked for clarification around if that means that I'm not supposed to record the message right now. And Spirit said, nope. It is still in your best interest. I'm burning some rose right now because our hearts are hurting, expanding, breaking, growing. So we're gonna do our best. I opened Sacred Space, called in my guides, again off camera. I usually do it on camera, but there's something about the vulnerability of our spirits right now and the need for protection. Yes, in an overt way, in a tactical kind of aggressive way, as well as allowing the protection of just removing yourself. I'm hearing. So I turned off the camera, turned off my light, prayed and called in my family, my spirit family, to guide this message. I don't have a lot of vocal power right now, so I'm also leaning into that. There's something about the stillness, the silence, and this call to retreat. I'm hearing some of us might be moving into our avoidant tendencies, which is completely natural. There's a season for everything. I'm hearing a season for expansion and a season for contraction. They're both natural states, and we move in and out of them daily. There's something about the necessity of grace towards ourselves in these moments where you feel like maybe you shouldn't be pulling back or going inwards because everything is calling you outward. There's no wrong way to be. I'm hearing, I don't make wrong choices. And that can be minuscule, minor to macro. I don't make wrong choices. I choose. Spirit wants me to. I'm pulling from, so we have the Hermit card right at the top of the deck. The Hermit goes inwards to find what is true for them in any given moment. You might be trying to decide or learning the difference between anxiety and intuition at this time. What does it mean strategically to follow your inner voice? What does that whole even sound like? It can be really hard when things are loud. So we're calling on the messages from the spirits of nature, because who knows best, honestly, but the beings that have been here since the beginning of time. When we start to feel like, when we start to feel like we've forgotten or act like we've forgotten that we've existed for as long as we've existed, sometimes it's good to just check in with the beings that obviously have not forgotten, and that is the earth. Let's take a nice deep breath in through your nose with me, and out. Really nice. So we have cycles, the moon, definitely the energy of what I was feeling. We have it be that it's the 23rd card here. Let's get a nice close look. It's the 23rd card here that reduces to 5. 5 is also about changes, cycles, 5 seasons, 5. They want us to remember that not only is this the beginning of a new cycle, that every beginning is an ending. We are coming from in numerology a 9-year into a 1-year. We're in the first month of that year. We're also moving, when we look at the natural cycles, we're also moving towards the end of the natural year. So January, February, March, mid-March being the beginning of the Chinese New Year, but also the beginning of, I like to call it the natural year. Spring is coming, ratata. So we're actually still at the end of this cycle, mixed in with the Gregorian calendar that is saying, hey, we're starting anew, which I think holds significance. New Year's Eve, New Year's, where it is, does hold significance. No matter if it's made up or not, it's a collective belief. There's a collective ritualization of this time of the year as a beginning. And when enough of us believe in something, that energy moves forward. So it's also the latter half. We have the winter solstice that happens around the 21st-ish of December. And that's the midpoint where the days start to get longer. So there is within our natural cycles, there is a kind of moving towards the light that starts to happen December 21st onwards. And so I do like to hold the space for this beginning energy, but it's honoring the beginning of what is still ending. So it's okay to be in the muck. It's okay to still feel like death. It's freezing. And there's a lot of messaging around both the natural and the unnatural influences of this freeze, of the weather. There's been reports of a kind of chemical smell in the air. I'm not going to go into, the peoples and the conspiracies of it all, even though there's backing behind a lot of these phenomenons around the weather. There's a lot pushing us to abandon nature's rhythm. I'm also hearing what our human nature. Not only the violence, the disappearing, the murder, the propaganda, the kidnapping, the extraction, the exploitation, all of that is banking on, if they don't disappear us, we will do it for them. And that is where the self-abandonment comes in, where we stop being able to take care of ourselves. We refuse to slow down because we feel the very real pressure of what's moving forward. I'm even watching right now, trying not to hold my breath while I speak. There is a dream that we all belong to. No matter what opposing forces claim, there's a dream of heaven on earth. That has been co-opted for heaven on earth for a select few. That dream, that version of that dream is dying. We have 2 9s here. We have the 9 of Cups in reverse and the 9 of Swords. Followed by the Emperor. I talk a lot about autonomy and sovereignty in my personal practice. As an African Indigenous person, as a genderqueer person, as an artist, as a poet, as a lover. There is I'm hearing the collective dream of heaven on earth is older than their variation. Both of these being nines. Nine of Cups in upright has to do with the cups represent emotions. I'm hearing also this Piscean energy, dreams, imagination, intuition. The 9 is right before the 10 of Cups, which is full embodiment of emotional, all of the other satisfaction. 9, but it includes others. The 10 includes the community, includes partnership, includes the 9. You can see there's a sweetness of this dancer following the I'm hearing the music of her desires, the music of her imagination, the music of her dreams, and allowing that to be enough. It was in reverse, and it came with this 9 of Swords, which you can see not too pretty. The swords represent the mental sphere. It can feel selfish. I'm feeling this. Can feel selfish to focus in on the individual fulfillment of your passions, dreams, intuitions, even the minor feelings of your day, the things that are going on with you personally in your body, how you're metabolizing the news that you're receiving, how you're metabolizing what it means to still feel fulfilled by your day. I'm really hearing day because our days are filled with so much information, so much requiring our mental state. That is also a tool of the oppressor, is to keep us up here when, as natural beings, we operate from our heart, our most powerful electromagnetic emitter, our gut, our nervous system, our muscles. I'm hearing our fascia. Big talk on fiber and hydration right now, the gut. Because we're going to need to rely on more different aspects of our knowing in order to move away from the mental chaos that all of this. I'm seeing like a tornado, I'm hearing shitstorm. You are not a bad person if and because you want out of that shitstorm. You are not a bad person if you need more time to emotionally, somatically, that means through the body, metabolize what the fuck is going on. Because this is the aspect of us that is being called up, which is the Emperor. The side of us that gets shit done. You see how he's holding the world in his hand, but he's not looking up at the world. There's a sense of introspection, a sense of meditation. You could say he's even looking down, back at the earth. There's a protective spirit around him. Also a predatory spirit. Not predatory to him, but on his side if he needs that energy. We need inspired action. We need long-term results because this has been a long-term struggle. The Emperor is also ruled by the number 4. 4 represents stability, 4 represents structure. Where in your life do your personal desires, your personal dreams, your personal skills, insight, perspective, where do they contribute to the larger conversation at play? And can you I'm getting a headache a little bit. Take a nice little deep breath. I'm hearing the magical number of 3. Are there 3 ways that you can commit to taking action on a personal goal that contributes to a collective one? If 3 is too much, 1 is fine. Because the point right now is consistency. I'm hearing, can you take a moment? In what state are you in when you open your phone? Even just noticing. If you know that going on Instagram is going to get you information on what's going on that you know will activate you, can you just take a breath before you go onto the gram? I'm not even on this I try at least, half an hour for me to brush my teeth, wash my ass, kind of do some things that remind me I'm a human being before I get on my phone. But I know shit is rough right now. So can we make the ask even smaller and say, hey, can we take a couple of breaths? Because that is you waking up that internal voice that's there to care for you, that's there to look after you, that says, hey, this might be triggering for my friend here. I'd like to give them a second. And in that second, you might also make the decision, I don't need to do it. But there is somewhere else in my day where I know I'll be acting on the information I already even have about the situation. That's something else too, is the older spirits are also like, there's no way you can act on everything that is coming towards you. The information that's coming towards you, it's not natural the way that it's coming. So what if you just worked off what you know already, what you learned yesterday? Can you pick 1 or 2 things from what you learned in the last couple weeks and say, hey, I'm going to stick to remembering that. I'm going to focus on that for the next week, for the next 2 days, for the next 24 hours. Mind your crown. If there's any way that you can make, also I'm hearing physical contact with your body that again just reminds you, hey, I'm here. This is really scary. I'm really fucking pissed. I have a right to be pissed. I can't believe this. I can believe this. Fuck this. There's a relationship with self that is so fucking sacred right now. Because on a spiritual tip, the only person you have full, complete jurisdiction over is you. Doesn't mean you are not a part of a web that fuels the ripples of you, but because, I'm getting emotional, but because you are that, because we are made up of each other, it is crucial that you get to know on a personal level who the fuck we're fighting for. These systems of oppression are designed to rip you from you so that you don't go and don't have the capacity to love that person, to fight for that person, to be around long enough to see a new world. It is not selfish to get to know yourself during this time. In fact, it is crucial. And anything taking you away from this sacred relationship, I don't mean anything triggering you. You gonna be triggered. I don't mean anything that is fighting your ego about who you thought you were, what you thought you had capacity to do, all of that. I'm talking about what's true. If the truth is, I'm fucked up, the next truth is, I'm here with me. And I will find a way to regulate who I have complete jurisdiction over. And I will call in the people, even if that just means energetically. You can just say out loud, I need some help. I welcome some help. I'm ready to receive help. You say that often enough, even to yourself, something's hearing you, no matter what you believe in. Our words have power. And we need you at your emperor, baby. But not without your receptive energy. We don't need the action if it isn't also ready to receive. And ready to listen. Big on listening. I'm really proud of how far you've gotten. It's a long road, but we have each other. And most importantly, you have you. I love y'all. It's natural to feel how you're feeling, but just know it doesn't end there. Yeah?